All right, welcome back. It's the Avid Investor Podcast with me, your host, Josh Adamek. And today we're going to talk about New Year's resolutions and goals. Okay, so there's a reason why I purposely waited until a month into the new year to talk about this. We're into the beginning of February, and, I waited, and there's a reason for that. And what's the reason? How many of you fell off already and forgot about your goals and your resolutions? You're leading up. It happens time and time again, year after year, where you're rolling in to the end of the year. We hit Thanksgiving. We're coming up on Christmas. There's all the excitement for the holidays. Along with the holidays comes, busy times, good food, drinks, friends, whatever. Maybe you're falling off a little bit on your business or falling off on your diet. Whatever the case may be, and you keep telling yourself, as soon as the new year hits, I'm going to get to it. As soon as the new year hits, I'm going to start my diet. As soon as the new year hits, I'm going to hit the gym. As soon as the new year hits, I'm going to hustle hard, and I'm going to hit it hard, and I'm going to grow my business. I'm going to grow my side hustle, whatever that is. And you do that. January 1st hits, and you're like, if your goal is to lose weight, your goal is to go to the gym. You start going to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. You're getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning when you used to get up at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. You're going to the gym. You're hitting it hard, and you do that for 2 weeks, and then you're like, screw this, I'm done. That was enough. And the same goes with business. I mean, if you're starting a business on the side, or you're trying to grow your business or your current business, you're putting extra hours in at the beginning of the year. You're staying up late. You're getting up early. You're hustling. You're putting the time in. You're putting the work in, and then before you know it, life kicks in, and you fall off. And that's usually about like the second or third week of the year. That you fall off. I mean, it happens time and time again. I've been guilty of it in the past. I think we all have. But the reality is is when you set your goals, when you set your goals for the new year, a goal is nothing more. A goal without a plan is nothing more than a wish. So if you set your goals, did you even write down your goals? Did you come up with a plan to hit those goals? What's the timeline on your goals? What are the milestones you have to hit in order to accomplish your goals? What's the time that you have to put in? What's the dedicated time that you have to put towards those goals? What's the plan of action that's going to get you to hitting those goals? Whether it's 6 months out, a year out, 5 years out, 10 years out, depends on what your goals are. Really, what the timeline needs to be. So, as I said, a goal without a plan is nothing more than a wish. You got to have an action plan. You got to set a plan in place, and you got to stick by that plan. And I've seen it time and time again where it's easy to say, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to lose 50 pounds. I'm going to buy 50 houses. I'm going to do 25 flips. I'm going to start, I'm going to start this business, and we're going to grow it to $1 million in gross sales by the end of the year. It's easy to say that stuff, but step one is writing it down. Write down your goal. Step two is coming up with a plan to achieve that goal. Is your goal realistic? Maybe, maybe not. But if you follow that action plan and take those steps, and you get halfway to your goal, or a third of the way to your goal, or 2/3 of the way to your goal, and you don't reach your goal, so be it. It happens to me every year. But every year, at the beginning of the year, the end of the year, towards the beginning of the year, I come up with a plan. I come up with some goals for the year. I come up with a plan for the year. And sometimes we deviate from that plan. Sometimes we shift gears halfway through the year, halfway through into the first quarter, second quarter. Maybe we shift gears a little bit. Maybe we're on fire, and we're growing. We're exceeding where we need to be by the second quarter. Maybe something comes up with the business where we need to shift gears and focus somewhere, a little bit more, and take away from, the plan. But the point is we have that plan. We have that plan in place, and we stick to that plan as best we can. Do I ever hit my goals? Never. Why is that? Probably because my goals are set extremely high, as with a lot of business owners. But if we set our goals up here and we have a plan to achieve those goals, but we only get halfway there or 2/3 of the way there, so be it. That's where we ended up, and I'm happy for it. I'm happy for my team. I'm grateful for where we end up at the end of the year. But the point is we stay focused. We stay focused on that plan. We stay focused on our goals. We stay focused on the mission at hand. It's easy to get sidetracked. But again, depending on where you're at in your business, let's just stick with business goals for the time being. So depending on where you're at with your business, if your goal is totally unrealistic, if you're, let's just say you're in real estate, you want to get into real estate, you want to start an investment business, or you want to start to grow a portfolio, and you say, I'm going to go out and buy 50 houses this year, but you've never bought a single home and you don't have a single resource. That's probably not a realistic goal. Much like, if you go to the gym and you say, I'm going to lose 100 pounds this year, but you haven't, or, I'm going to lose 100 pounds, or I'm going to be able to bench 400 pounds by the end of the year, but you haven't picked up a 5-pound dumbbell, and got off of the couch in the last 3 years. That might not be a realistic goal. So back to the business, if your goal is to, start your business, start your investment business, start your portfolio, it's probably not, assuming you have no money, you have no background, you have no, you have no resources, you don't have a rich uncle, it may not be a realistic goal to go out and buy 50 or 100 houses your first year. Reason for that is, you got to learn the business. You got to learn the ins and outs. So set a somewhat realistic goal that you want to accomplish by the end of the year. Maybe that's buying 5 houses. Maybe that's buying 10 houses. Maybe that's buying 1 house. But come up with a plan of attack. Come up with a plan to hit those goals. Once you set those goals, come up with a plan and make sure you're sticking to that plan. In order to buy houses, in order to start a portfolio, to grow a portfolio, you need 2 things. You got to raise money, and you need to make written offers. Again, assuming you're starting from zero, from goose egg, you need to raise money and you need to make written offers. So if you're not connecting with investors, with lenders, with bankers, seeing if you're bankable, if you're not connecting with wholesalers, real estate agents, marketing for off-market deals, you're not going to buy that first house. You're not going to buy those 10 houses. So you need to take action on your goals. If all you do is tell yourself, well, I'm going to buy 10 houses by the end of the year, or I'm going to buy, 25 houses by the end of the year, or I'm going to buy 1 house by the end of the year. I'm going to start my investment business. I'm going to buy 1 house by the end of the year. Before you know it, it's going to be November and you haven't made a written offer yet. So you need to allocate time, schedule your day, schedule your time. We're all busy. Many of us have, many of us have jobs, have businesses, have families, time, there's time commitments with all of that. But if you want to start that business, if you want to start that investment portfolio, if you want to start that side hustle, you need to carve out some time, daily, weekly, several times per week, that you're going to focus on your goals, focus on your plan, focus on your business, start to grow your portfolio. You're going to have to carve out some time to go to some networking events. If you don't know anybody, you're going to have to carve out some time to listen to some podcasts, to listen to get on some blogs, to get in different networks where you can start to make connections with all the resources that you need to start that business, to start making those offers, to start buying those properties. So it requires time. And if you don't have the plan to make, to take that time to do that, it's going to be November, December before we know it. And you may not have reached those goals or hit those goals. So, 12 months goes by before we know it. It's the end of the year before we know it. Thanksgiving's coming before we know it. And you want to make sure, that's why I waited till now, February. It's the beginning of February. We still got 11 months left. We're not even halfway through Q1. So if you have had your goals at the end of last year, around Thanksgiving, Christmas, leading up to New Year's, if you had your goals and you've fallen off already, you still got time to recover. You still got time to get back on track. Think about those goals. Think about what you want to accomplish over the next 11 months and write those goals down. Come up with a plan. Follow that plan, stick to the script. And, if your goals are, way above, where they're attainable, achievable, if you get halfway there, you're still winning. If you get a quarter of the way there, you're still winning. You get 2/3 of the way there, 3/4 of the way there, you're still winning. It doesn't, if you don't hit your goal for the year, that doesn't mean you've lost. If you accomplish something, it is better than doing nothing and forgetting about it and letting life take over and get caught up, because it takes you got to take action in order to hit your goals. So that's business wise. Same goes with health and fitness. If your goal is to if your goal is to lose 50 pounds or be able to do something or compete, or you want to run a half a marathon, or you want to do a Tough Mudder, or you want to be in better health, you want to just be more healthy and more active so you can live a longer, fuller life and be there for your kids and hopefully maybe even grandkids one day. Depending on what your goals are, again, you gotta set a plan. You gotta set a plan and stick to that plan and follow that plan. I was at the gym earlier this year, a couple of weeks ago. It was like the first or second week of January, and one of the trainers was there early in the morning, and I said, "Oh, you're here early," and she said, "Yeah, it's that time of year." So you see it all the time. First 2 weeks of the year, first 2 weeks of January, no matter what time of day you go to the gym, it's packed. Everybody's on a mission. I'm gonna go to the gym every day. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna lose 50 pounds. I'm gonna lose 100 pounds. I'm gonna run a marathon by the end of the year. And everybody hits the ground running on the new year, the first week of the year, second week of the year, and then they fall off. Well, what happened? What happened is maybe you went too hard. Maybe you went too hard. So, if your goals are fitness, and I'm not a fitness coach, anything like that, but I've been around the gym a lot and I've seen it a lot. If your goal is to accomplish something health and fitness wise over the course of the year, but again, you haven't got off the couch in the last 3 years, you haven't drank anything other than Mountain Dew or ate anything other than cheeseburgers for the last 3 years, and your goal is to, lose 50 pounds or 100 pounds or run a half a marathon, my suggestion is don't hit it too hard right out of the gate. Don't say, I'm going to do this, and then, you're going to the gym 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day, 7 days a week. Why? Because nobody has time for that. And two, you're going to get burned out. You're going to get hurt. My suggestion is ease into it. Ease into it. So if your goal is, right now it's beginning of February, if your goal is to lose 50 pounds by the end of the year, 100 pounds by the end of the year, or, run a marathon or compete in a race, Tough Mudder or jiu-jitsu, whatever it is, whatever your goal is, ease into it. You got a year. So start with 2 days a week at the gym. Start with 3 days a week at the gym. Start with an hour a day. Start by walking, 20, 30 minutes a day, just walking. Pick up your speed a little bit each time. Go a little bit further each time. Go a little bit harder each time. And then maybe add a day a week. Go from 2 days a week to 3 days a week to 4 days a week and ease into it. If you go hard right out of the gate, 7 days a week, 2-3 hours a day, you're going to lose one. That's too much. And in my opinion, and two, you're going to get hurt. You're going to get burned out. You're going to get injured. Ease into it. And before you know it, it'll be routine to go to the gym, 4 or 5 days a week for an hour or two. It'll be routine to get up at, 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. It'll be routine to, eat the healthy stuff instead of the crap. It'll be routine. It'll be habit, it'll be habit. Much like there's habits now, you just change your habits. They say, I've read somewhere a long time ago that it takes 30 days to change a habit. So if you do something consistently for 30 days, it becomes habit. So regardless of what that is, good or bad. So Stick to it. Stick to your plan. Write down your plan. It's February. If your goal is fitness, if your goal is, to run a race, sign up for that race now. Set that finish line. Set that goal. Sign up for the race. Sign up for the event. Sign up for the competition. Set it in your calendar and say, this event is in October. It's February. Between February and October, I have to do this in February. I have to do this in March. I have to do this, and so on and so on. Each month, add a little bit each month, and you'll be ready to go. And much the same goes for business. If your goal is to build a portfolio of 25 houses, 50 houses, 100 houses, 10 houses, whatever it is, you want to buy an apartment building, whatever your goal is, business, real estate wide, start out small, ease into it. Spend that 6 months, first 6 months, or maybe spend that first year learning and educating yourself, surrounding yourself with the right people, putting your resources together. It is not a realistic goal to, if you say, I want to be a real estate investor, it is not a realistic goal to say, I want to buy 50 houses my first year when you've never stepped foot inside of a crappy, vacant, abandoned house. It's not a realistic goal to say, I'm going to buy 50 houses my first year if you have $0 in the bank. And why am I telling you this? Because I have nothing to sell you. I don't have a course to sell you. I don't have a program to sell you. I've got nothing to sell you. I'm providing real world information. That is not a realistic goal. Is it possible? Yes, absolutely. It's possible to go from 0 to 50 houses in your first year. But you know what else is possible? To have an epic failure from buying those 50 houses. If you are not properly educated, if you're not buying the right houses in the right areas with the right margins and the correct ratios, it is very possible for someone to go out and buy, 25 or 50 houses, to find that funding source, to be bankable, to have that, that rich relative, or, connect with, that friend of yours or that cousin that, will fund all your deals or fund your business. It's very possible to go out and buy 25, 50, upwards of that homes per year in your first year. But what if you screw it up, right? What if you didn't properly educate yourself? What if you didn't run the right ratios? What if you didn't buy in the right areas? What if you underestimated repairs, overestimated values? What if you, there's a 1,000 different variables when it comes to real estate and business. So if you go out and you start your business and you ease into it, assuming you're going to be an active investor, you ease into it, you buy, your first couple of properties, your first year, you make your connections, you get your resources together, you learn the business, you learn the areas, you buy your first couple of properties. If you screw up, on your first couple of properties, you can rebound from that. You can correct that. If you buy a house to, do your first flip, and you've bought in the wrong area, the values aren't there. You've underestimated the value. You've overestimated the value. You underestimated repairs. Your ratios are way off. Assuming you bought, a median price point home, you can rebound from that. You can refinance it. You can rent it out, and let the market do its thing. Let it appreciate over time, and you can exit that home down the line. But if you do that 25 times or 50 times in your first year and then realize you screwed something up across the board, you're in trouble. So, again, ease into it, learn the business, learn all aspects of the business, and set your goals for the year, set your plan of action for the year, and and ease into it. Start out small, work your way up. I said it before I talked about this before on a previous podcast. Everybody's goals and aspirations are different. But you can make a very big impact on your financial future with, a very small number of homes. Not everybody has a burning desire to go out and buy, build a portfolio of 50 homes, 150 homes, 500 homes, whatever. Not everybody has a burning desire to go out and buy a 50 or 100 unit apartment building. Some people just want to add to their financial future, plan for retirement, plan for their kids and their kids' financial future, and you can do that with a handful of homes. You buy right, you buy them right in the right areas, they'll appreciate over time. But regardless of what your goals are in business, you need to write those goals down. You need to write that plan down, and you need to follow that plan, and you need to stick to the script and put that in writing somewhere where you can see it on a regular basis. Some people put that, put it on the bathroom mirror where you see it every morning. Some people have it in their phone where you can review it, put it up on your office wall, next to your desk. If you put it in the gym, you got a home gym or a treadmill or something, put it there, review it on a regular basis, and see, am I following my plan? Am I sticking to my script? Or is it the beginning of February and I've completely forgot, in 30, 35 days, what I was going to accomplish this year. So that's my message for today. Again, just reminding you, we're a little over a month into the new year, and revisit your goals, and regardless of what your goals are, write that plan down, write it down, come up with that plan, and you got 11 months left. So let's do it. From this, I want to wish everybody, a very happy, healthy, prosperous new year. I know I'm a month behind on getting this message out, but I did it on purpose. I did it for you guys. Just a reminder. And again, all I ask from you is, if you're following along, if you're listening to this, hit the subscribe button so you can get notification. We're going to start coming out every day again with the podcast. So follow along. If you find value in this message, all I ask is that you share it with a friend. Text the link, email the link, share it on social media. That's all I ask in return. So thank you, everyone, and have a great day.